Hi Capricorn, welcome to your March 2022 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cappy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of this month, you get the Three of Swords. All right, so in a lot of ways this is you guys choosing to let something go or release something. Remember your actions and options, your actions and interactions with the world at large. This is about what you do, what you set into motion, but it's what you're most intentional or most consciously led for you. The Three of Swords for me is about separation, and sometimes this can be a separation that hurts in the heart space. Maybe it's a friendship that we don't want to let go of, but we don't really see another way forward. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it is a job. In a lot of ways, this is you choosing to consciously end something or release something or walk away from it. Now, because it is the Three of Swords as well, I would say this is you making a cut or an incision into something in your life that has become toxic, right? So when we have a boil, they lance it and then they squeeze all the gunge out. It's the same if you've got if you've ever had an abscess on your tooth. It's like that kind of energy. I kind of feel like whatever you're releasing this month, you're doing so because you know that it's become a bit of a toxic element, or it's no longer really serving you in any way, shape or form. When it comes to your communications and conversations, you have the Six of Wands, right? So look at this. If you are prepared to talk it out, if you are looking in, I almost want to say not even necessarily new directions, but if you're seeing things from different perspectives this month, there is definitely an energy where you are maybe able to improve something, but it kind of feels like in order to get to that point, you are having to remove your time, your energy, or your efforts. Now, the Six of Wands also suggests a personal victory when it comes to your, your communications, like you are being heard in the way that you want to be. You're being received by people in the way that is actually like demonstrative of who you actually are versus how people see you or what other people's opinions are. There's a sense this month that you are, not that you're not always, but there's a sense this month that you are a lot more authentic than maybe than you've been able to feel in a while. And when it comes to those of you that are in the camps of working, whether that's for yourself or other people, this, in a lot of ways, especially with that Three of Swords, it's like by giving yourself that break, by separating yourself or pulling back a little bit, or maybe putting a little bit of a breather or a buffing space in the work sphere, you're able to kind of step back and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this in a different way now. I'm going to take time to really chill, to relax and ease into it. And it's like that creates the right space or the right energy that you need for things to continue in a way that is actually satisfactory, which is great. When it comes to those of you that are not working, whether this is because you're retired or you're studying or, all those things in between, one way that this might show up for you is that you start to use the time that you have more effectively. I will say as well, this could be a month where you're able to get more done in a shorter space of time than maybe you have in a while, and that could be really good. Like this could see you really getting to getting into a flow, getting into when you get into that flow state and you're right in and it just comes and it's all natural. Or like if you've ever done a dance class where you've learnt the steps so well that now you can just do it and have fun with it, right? All that kind of stuff. For your heart and half sector, you've got the Four of Swords. So there is kind of like a stop-start energy about this month, right? We've got the Three of Swords, then we've got the Six of Wands, we've got the Four of Swords, and then whatever else comes up. I don't know what's next, but you get my point. When it comes to love, relationships and partnerships, this, for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, give your relationship time, energy and breathing space. This would be a really good time for some of you, like if it's possible, take a weekend break with your significant other, right? This is a great month for you to talk things out because there's a strong sense of diplomacy. This Four of Swords is very much a slow down, take your time with it, don't push it, don't rush it, don't force it. You've got this with the Six of Wands, which means communication between you and your partner. It's like real headway can be made because it's being made slowly and diplomatically, which is nice. For those of you that are single, if I'm honest, the Four of Swords always suggests that you're taking a breather from relationships. You're kind of taking a backseat, and maybe this is because the work, the profession is more in the forefront. Maybe because your money, your finances and your resources are taking up more of your time, effort and energy at this moment in time. Now, that's not to say that love can't happen or that it's not going to happen. It's just that the energy for it isn't that strong this month. And then for your money and materials, you've got the Moon card. So you've got this next to the Four of Swords. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, this would be a really good month for you to talk about big financial commitments, things that you are, it would be wise to look at where you're thinking about spending big money and asking yourself, what don't you know here, or what are you not seeing here? The Moon card is a nebulous energy, and when it comes to money and finances, it suggests that this could be a month where you do waste money because you're not really looking at the facts. This could be some form of emotional spending, so watch out for that. Because you've got it with the Four of Swords, if you're booking rest, breaks, retreats or anything like that, then yeah, go for it, absolutely. For some of you, this could be the resurfacing of a debt, or it could be you addressing your debts this month, if you have any. And then for those of you that are single, when it comes to money, materials and finances, anyone or anything that constantly has you footing the bill definitely needs to be looked at. When it comes to your first week of the month, you have the Strength card, right? So having literally like having the strength to make a cut, to make a decision, to walk away from something, to end something or remove something. For a select few of you as well, this could spell out some form of surgery. The Three of Swords is usually on the back, or you know, it could even be the heart. I touch wood and I hope I'm wrong on that front, but this could be where maybe you start looking into surgical means for something, or maybe discovering that you are having to look at or have talks or conversations about that for your physical health. But yeah, I mean, on a more sort of internal level, it just really feels like this is you gearing up to make a cut that you know you're going to feel. All right. For your second week of the month, you've got the Hanged Man with the Six of Wands. You know the saying, slow and steady wins the race? That is Capricorn energy to a T, right? But the fact that you've got the Hanged Man here as well, there's an element to like a lot of the good things that are coming up is like, it's about damn time, right? You've waited long enough, you've been patient, you've been present, you've done the manifesting, you've done all of that, and it's like now you're finally seeing results. I almost want to say to you, whatever results are or come up or show up for you, be selfish with them. Right, and this is the time to do so. For your third week of the month, you've got the Emperor card. This is number 4, and you've got this right underneath the Four of Swords. 2 4s is insomnia. All right, so sleep around this third week of the month could be a little bit interesting, or maybe even a bit elusive. What this also suggests as well, because you've got it next to the Hanged Man, this may be where you're having to interact with an institution in some way that you feel is kind of unfair. So watch out for this, because this could be something in the work sphere. Maybe something happens and you kind of end up copping the end of it or the blame. And it's like, hang on a sec, this isn't my fault or my problem. Like, why am I having to deal with the crap? Watch out for that. When it comes to those of you that are married, partnered or in long-term commitments, the Emperor can be a card of commitment on its own anyway, and sometimes the traditional commitment. So I wonder, if this is you and your partner sort of saying, you know what, we need to give more time to our marriage, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. For your 4th week of the month, you've got the Devil card, especially with the Moon card. You could overspend this month. You could end up paying through the nose for something that winds up not being worth what you paid for it at a later date. This would be a month to really watch out on that financial level. All right. And then when it comes to your physical health and vitality, if you overindulge this month, the results or the challenges or the consequences of that could be, you know, swift. Just, yeah. All right. For your new moon message, you've got the Gate 13 and Listen. This is going to be a really nice new moon, and it's going to heighten your personal intuition. This new moon is sextile to your sun because it's in the sign of Pisces, which is a harmonious aspect. The new moon is going to reveal some sort of opportunity for you, but it's not going to be like, you will have to dig for it. You will have to make efforts to make it possible. Like, I see sextile energy as, like, you know, when you're walking down the street and you see something glisten, and then you have to walk over it to it and have a look, and you're like, oh, okay, look at that, I just found £1, great. This is that kind of energy. So the fact that you've got the Listen card, which is about listening to your intuition, the opportunities that are presented to you around or because of this new moon, they have really good results in store, but you are having to dig for it. All right, it's not just going to be bam, something big falls into your lap. Your full moon message is the Gate 51 and Shock. So this is basically the Tower card, and that full moon for you is offering a trine to your sun, moon, or ascendant, whichever one you're watching for. What I like about this for you is the Shock card, it shakes you out of your apathy, right? And not to say that you're having a bout of apathy, but if you are, this full moon is definitely going to shake you out of it, and it may highlight to you where you need to go in a different direction, right? So whatever shows up for you around that full moon, it really is trying to advance you, but it's doing it in a way that is quite uncomfortable. What I tend to find with the Tower card is it's a big realization, and it tends to be like a moment where we're like, oh, that's what I was doing to get in my own way, or this is where I was kind of shooting myself in the foot. This is a moment of pure self-honesty that comes up for you, and because it's coming as a trine energy, although it might be surprising or it might be a big realization, it is actually a harmonious energy for you in the end. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.